Empty seats can't cheer. They don't tailgate, and they don't know fight songs. Empty seats don't sing during seventh inning stretches. And they don't know stats or superstitions. There's a soundtrack for places like this, and it isn't made in a studio. It's made by you. So when it's your turn to get the vaccine, be a fan. Take the shot.
That is country superstar Brad Paisley in the new PSA urging Americans to get the COVID-19 vaccine. On July 4th, Brad will headline the free 18th annual Let Freedom Sing event. It's expected to be Nashville's first major event since the pandemic began last year. And the Grammy Award winner joins us now. Brad, great to see you. Thanks for being back with us. We appreciate it. As a Vanderbilt graduate, I love seeing the inside of Memorial Gym in that PSA and hope they can fill it up again soon with your fans. So why did you think it was so important to make this video, Brad?
Well, first of all, I didn't know you were a Vanderbilt graduate.
Yeah,
that's
spent some time in
impressive.
Nashville. Yeah, thanks.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that I have some good friends that are doctors, and throughout this entire time watching the way Nashville has been hit, maybe hardest economically for my line of work. I just, you know, when you're talking about the touring industry and music and live events and the people that make their living, there's so many people. I've really dug deep on these vaccines. My doctor friends have sort of let me know a lot of data. I've seen all of this. I've done my research, and I'm so impressed at what we're rolling out as a country. And so it's really important that folks realize this is the way back, because I can't do this anymore. We've got to get back on the road.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about this before, and I've talked to a bunch of other people in your position. There's the entire family, as you guys call it, that travel with you on the road. All the people in your universe, the crews who go in a couple days ahead and set up those arenas, all the people who sell tickets and do all those things. How big is your universe, and how badly do you want to get them back to work?
It's bigger than you can even imagine, in the sense that there's people I don't even ever meet or know whose lives have been impacted. They're the folks that are there when we roll in the morning. They're the people that do the lighting and the local stuff, the caterers, the people that, you know, every city has how many venues, you know, tens of venues that are sitting there empty. And people make their living doing that. There's musicians in Nashville that are, you know, delivering pizza now. And it's the type of thing that we've got to get back to. We got to get back to seeing one another in person. And I also think mentally, as a society, we need to gather, you know.
Absolutely, no question. Brad, Claire McCaskill's here with a question for you. Claire?
Hey, Claire.
Good morning, Brad. I really want to prevail upon you and ask you about your other friends in country music. I think you guys have such a powerful platform about this, the vaccination wary folks out there. Have you visited with some of the other superstars of your genre to talk to them about doing exactly what you've done, whether it's being on country radio or PSAs or using social media in a powerful way to convince people that the vaccine is something to welcome and not be afraid of?
There's definitely some things bubbling like that. I've had some conversations with a few of my artist friends. Several are already vaccinated. Others are you know, about to. I think you're going to see some of that. We all realize, I think, maybe not all, but most of us really realize that this is the safe way to get to do this. I mean, when you're going to cram 12 people on a tour bus and head down the road, it just makes sense in so many ways that, first of all, we take this vaccine, which is so absolutely safe. These vaccines are really, really game changers. And to be able to get on a bus, for one, I don't want to have to wear a mask the whole time I'm on the road. Neither do any of my employees. And it's almost impossible if you're traveling like that. So I think all of us realize it's the way back.
Brad, as you know, there's hardly anything more fun than Lower Broadway, downtown Nashville, packed on a summer night. You're going to try to do that again on this 4th of July with the Let Freedom Sing event. How are you going to pull that off?
Well, I mean, you know, one of the ways that we're pulling it off is that Nashville's done a really pretty good job of rolling this out. I mean, we're, as far as that goes, we're hopeful, I think, that the way that this comes off, we have a significant portion of the population that are immune one way or another, and also it's outdoors, which is a key. And I think that it's also going to be very, very emotional and necessary. I mean,
hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.